Hi, my name's Doris Vitok and I'm with Suzanne from Honey Honey. It's a band. And so what kind of music do you guys primarily play?
It's kind of a melting pot of bluegrass, rock, a little bit of pop, and country, I guess.
And so when you were growing up, did you just think, I want to be a musician, or did that come to you later?
It's funny, I always sang, and I always did like musical theater, so acting and performing was always part of my ambitions, but I didn't really make it specific until I was about 19. I'm 25 now, so I sort of feel like it's still very new to have as a career.
And what would you tell other young people who might, or young people about my age who would be interested in going into a career in music? Are there any tips that you would have?
Well, I would probably tell them a lot of the same things that you tell them, which is why I like you so much. Figure out, express yourself and figure out who you are and how you can be shown through your music. I think a lot of times people try to play like somebody else, and I think that's a great way to learn, but it's really also important to figure out like where you are in what you play. And let people be people.
Do you think it's important to really be yourself in your music?
Absolutely, and also and I think figure out what it means to you. It means something different to every person. I've recently really had a very strong, almost kind of epiphany on what it means to me, and personally I look at music, even though our music can be pretty rock and roll, as a healing for people. Whether it's making them jump around, laugh, cry, dance, just feel something, in the artistic sense, and that's really important to me, that I can, I guess, heal that way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, definitely. And how do you think, so I was talking with you earlier a little bit about having a very supportive family, how do you think that helped you along your road to becoming a musician?
Not until my adulthood did I feel limitations, I guess, mainly self-created of, self-doubt, but they just made me feel like anything was possible. They really, I was always a good singer, in choir. I would just do a choir solo. My first solo was Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid.
Oh.
And I wore a fin. But they were always just so open. And I look back now and I think that's amazing, and I think what your mother does for you is unbelievable. But yeah, they had a lot to do with it.
Yeah. So, and another thing I was wondering, so during the Idea City conference, we've heard a lot about rise of the female and about women's issues. It would be interesting. Do you think that gender roles or being a woman, does that limit or liberate any of your roles in music?
It's funny. I definitely understand the rise of the woman, but I also think that so many of us, such as yourself, are already risen in a way that is I never really looked at any limitations as a woman. I don't really think too much about any sort of gender roadblocks. I think it's funny. I kind of feel indifferent to it, to be honest with you. I guess as a female front woman, it is liberating, but I don't feel like it's liberating in a sense that I would have been limited. It's just good to be up there, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty
man or woman.
I'm wondering, because I do see, a lot of music we see in the mainstream coming from women as well as men, and just seeing how those roles differ, both in music, but also in the way that they go about, for instance, promoting themselves to that gap. But yeah, very good.
Actually, there's one thing I did want to say. Someone, she was talking about Mary Wollstonecraft. I can't remember her name, but it was really important to me, because I think a lot of times in music or entertainment, and there's sort of a rock star stereotype where you can't have a loving family and marriage, or I guess healthy lifestyle, you can say, and success. It's there's always got to be that destructive side, and I've as sort of an up and coming band and musician, It's a really interesting thing to observe when you meet other musicians and how they live their lives, and I don't think it's impossible to be a successful woman and have a successful relationship and family life. I really look forward to maintaining all those things and still having a big career. And I can't think of too many women though that have that. So I kind of want to maybe be a pioneer. I don't know.
Well, definitely, we need more pioneers. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You're just wonderful.
I'm Doris Vitak here in Toronto.